And compassionate, no God except Allah and Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the last prophet of Allah. Dear the grammar expert, under the platform of Pakistan Institute of Competitive Studies. Like past, today we are going to study a new topic, and our topic name is tenses in short. Well, it's very important to know about all the tenses because it helps you in communication. And as long as your tenses are not strong, you will definitely have lots of problems, not only in speaking, but also work in understanding. So that's why it's very important to become a good communicator and good speaker or a good writer. You must have strong and reinforced capacity of tenses. That's why, for this purpose, I have arranged some slides which will definitely help you in understanding the right tense according to their forms, because forms create a very huge problem for the people to understand or to speak. Sometimes they want to speak for past, they use the wrong verbs. So using wrong verbs does not only change your idea, but also makes confusion for your listeners or for your readers. So in order to augment or in order to overcome this problem, inshallah, this class has been arranged and I will try my level best to help you out and get the proper solution of this. जैसा आप सबको ही पता है कि टेंसेस जो है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल अदा करते हैं स्पीकिंग में भी और राइटिंग में भी, क्योंकि ये हमारे जो अमल, जो एक्शन, जो स्टेट, जो हालत हम दिखाना चाहते हैं, जो हम इंडिकेट करते हैं, तो उसके साथ साथ इनका टाइम का जाहिर होना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि कुछ ऐसे अवामिल होते हैं जो कि हम पास्ट में उसको कर चुके होते हैं, कुछ हम करने वाले होते हैं मुस्तकबिल में, और कुछ हम कर रहे होते हैं. तो देयर आर 3 डिफरेंट स्टेजेस. तो इन 3 डिफरेंट स्टेजेस को हम ग्रामर की शक्ल में किस तरह जाहिर कर सकते हैं? हाउ कैन वी display these 3 different stages of time as far as the rules of according to the rules of grammar. So for this purpose, we need to understand about the rules of grammar, especially in the segment of tenses. So topic name is tenses in short. So let's begin, guys. So you can see the heading on the top, verb and tenses. Well, it's not something very new for all of you to listen about a word tense. And it is also not something very new to listen about the word verb. Verb and tense, they both have very close relation each other. They have very close relation each other, and it is not possible to learn the tenses without having information about the verb. And it is also not possible to learn the verb without learning the tenses. They both are interconnected to each other. Understanding the verb without its tense, or understanding the tense without its verb, is almost impossible. That's why whenever you want to learn the tenses, first of all, you have to learn its verb forms. When the verb forms are understood or learned, tenses can easily be understood. तो वर्ब का और टेंस का बहुत ही क्लोज रिलेशन होता है. As I told you in my previous lectures, that there is very important agreement required between the subject and verb. Subject और verb के दरमियान बहुत ही important agreement का होना लाजमी है. If the subject does not agree the verb, or verb does not agree the subject, consequently it creates a problem. And as a result, the sentence becomes wrong. If I don't use verb according to the demand of subject, or if I don't use the proper subject before a verb, it will create mistake. I mean, it will create problem not only for the listener, but also for the speaker, because speaker will not be able to make his or her listeners understand as long as there is no proper agreement between the verb and the subject, which we had already studied in the past. Today, why verb once again is brought? but not now, not according to the subject. We brought today's verb according to the tense. As I also already told you, मैं जैसे आपको पहले ही बता चुका हूँ previous lectures में, a sentence can be wrong. If you want to see whether a sentence is right or wrong, you have to see its verb. If the verb is right, the sentence can be right. 90% of the 90% sentence is based on its verb. If the verb is correct, if verb is right, sentence will also be right. And if you have the wrong verb, uh, you don't need to go and check the object, complement, or subject, because verb is the backbone of the sentence. That's why whenever the examiners want to test you, they will always test you not in the first part of the sentence, which is subject, not in the last part of sentence, which is the object or complement. They will always test you in the middle one, that is word, that is verb. So verb needs to be very much important. I mean, it needs to be given full attention or concentration to understand. If you understand the verb, 90% you can control your sentence. And if you don't understand the verb, your sentence, I mean, 90% your sentence remains incomplete. Because we do have many sentences, even without subject, object, or complement, a lone verb can function like a whole or can function like a sentence. But a single subject or single object or single complement can never function like a sentence. So verb has a very important and a very strong position in the sentence. So मैं ये कह रहा था आपको कि verb का टेंस से बहुत ज्यादा गहरा ताल्लुक है, बिकॉज टेंस की तब्दीली भी वर्ब के जरिए होती है. If you want to change the tense, I mean from present to past or from past to future, you only change the verb form. You never change the subject, you never change the verb, you never change the object, you never change the complement. Like I go to school, I went to school, I will go to school. So what is the changing part, or what are the changing parts in these three sentences? The same is what, same is the verb. In first sentence, I used go. In second sentence, I used went. In third sentence, I used will go. So what is go, what is went, and what are will and go? They are verbs. They are verbs according to grammar. Only the verb part had to be changed when you want to change the tense. Same subject, same complement, same preposition, but not same upon the verb. If you understand today's lecture, it will be very easy for you to identify any kind of tense or to find out mistakes in any kind of sentence, at least according to tense. तो इसके लिए सबसे पहले हमने वर्ब को समझना पड़ेगा कि वर्ब का बेसिक फंक्शन क्या है. So see the main verb. We have got two types of verb. As far as the tenses are concerned, you will have to understand two types of the verbs, in which first one is main verb and second one is helping verb. So first of all, we have to understand the power and the function of main verb. ये जो main verb है, ये असल में क्या है और इसकी क्या खुसूसियात हैं और ये किस लिए हम सेंटेंस में इसको इस्तेमाल करते हैं. So main verb, it is used to show an action. It shows an action or state. So why we use main verb? The answer is already given in first line. It is used to show action or state. Now, what is the difference between action or state? Action. Action is that type of activity in which body or physique involvement is necessary. Action हम अमल को कहते हैं और अमल से मुराद वो काम जिसमें हमारी जिस्म का कोई भी हिस्सा हरकत में हो. मिसाल के तौर पर, I write a letter. So it's not possible to write a letter without moving my hand. Even I'm writing by pen with pen or I'm typing it, I need to move my hands. As long as I don't move my hands, I don't move my fingers, I will not be able to write. So when my hand is moved, my fingers are moved, they create activity, they create my physical activity. So whenever we want to point out physical activity, whether it is in present, whether it is in past or in future, that physical activity makes it action. And how can we understand about the action? We can understand about the action by seeing the verb. The subject can never show the action. Subject कभी भी आपको action जाहिर नहीं करता. Object can never show the action. Complement can never show the action. Only verb, main verb, can show action, right? So first of all, main verb is responsible for action. We use main verb to show action. And let me clear this point again. Every main verb does not show action. Like आप कहते हैं कि verb तो हमेशा action होगा. There are some verbs which show state. Now what is state? State means like existence. State means emotions. State means mental activity. State means a sense. State means possession. State means sense. These all things are included in state. State means that idea, that thought in which there is no indication of physical activity. जिसमें physical activity की कोई indication नहीं होती. For example, I have a car. I have a car. So having a car does not need any kind of physical activity, or there isn't any specific physical activity which shows that this person has a car or this person does not have a car. So I have a car. Here have is a main verb and it does not show action. It shows state of possession. For example, she is a teacher. Here is a main verb and it does not show any kind of action. For example, she likes mangoes. Here, likes is a main verb and it shows state. So sometimes main verb can show action and sometimes main verb can show state as per the need of idea. Your idea can be about action. Your idea can be about state. If your idea is about action, you have to go for action verb. If your idea is about state, you have to go for state verbs, right or not? So these are two different functions of the main verb for what we use a main verb. And another thing, एक चीज और आपको मैं बता दूं, at one time, one main verb can show only one thing. Either it shows action or it shows state. You cannot bring both action and state inside one statement by using a single main verb, right? A main verb is, if it is used for action, it will always be action. If it is used for state, it will always be state. And another important point, action verbs always show action and state verbs always show state. You can never use a state verb to show action and you can never use an action verb to show state. For example, you cannot use play, you cannot use go, you cannot use talk, you cannot use speak, you cannot use write, you cannot use teach to show state. Similarly, you cannot use have, you cannot use is, you cannot use taste, you cannot use smell, you cannot use look to show action. So for actions, we have different verbs, and for state, we have different verbs. And these both activities, these both functions are described by what? By main verb. So what is the relationship between main verb and tense? Whenever we are interested to show action, we have to make sure whether the action took place in the past, takes place in the present, or will take place in the past, or has taken place, had taken place, or will have taken place, or was taking place, is taking place, or will be taking place, or has been taking place, had been taking place, or will have been taking place. So we have to make it sure, because it's not only about action, it's not only about state, it's about its tense as well. Because you cannot say that in past at 4 o'clock this action happened, or this action. We have to show our tenses by using the correct form of the verb. So it's not about only action, it's not about only state, it's about the time of action, it's about the tense of the action, it's about the tense of the state, because state can take it could take place in the past, it can take place in the present, it can take place in the future. Similarly, our action could happen in the past, it can happen in the present, or it will happen in the future. So when I want to show my present action, for present action I have to go for the present tense. Now which verb form can indicate present tense? If I want to show past action, I will definitely have to go for the past tense. But which form of verb can show past tense? If my action is about future, I will definitely have to go for the future tense. But which verbs can show the future tense? That's the important thing, and which we have to study today. A child also knows, एक बच्चे को भी पता है कि past tenses को present के लिए नहीं यूज कर सकते, present tenses को future tense के लिए नहीं यूज कर सकते, ये सबको पता है। लेकिन ये चीज जरूरी है समझना कि कौन सी वर्ब फॉर्म पास्ट को इंडिकेट करती है, कौन सी वर्ब फॉर्म प्रेजेंट को इंडिकेट करती है, और कौन सी वर्ब फॉर्म फ्यूचर को इंडिकेट करती है. So that's important point. So dear students, come back to the slide. It has got 4 different forms which are used in different tenses as per the rules of grammar. So there are 4 forms. Second form we have went, third form we have gone, ing form like going. So these are 4 different forms of every main verb. Every main verb has got these 4 different forms. Main verb can be in first form, main verb can be in second form, main verb can be in third form, and main verb can be in ing form. So we have to divide these 4 different forms in 12 different tenses. इसको हम 12 मुख्तलिफ tenses में divide करेंगे. So 4 forms, and they are different forms, and 12 tenses. So it means there are some forms which can take more than 1 tense or 2 tenses. So for this reason we have to go there. Now placement of main verb in tense. So part 1, this is for main verb. So there are 4 types of different main verbs in 4 forms, and there are 12 tenses. So we will have to divide 4 main verbs into 12 tenses. तो 12 tenses में 4 main verbs को हमने divide करना है. किस तरह? We will have to go for this. And there are 4 tenses aspects: indefinite tense, continuous tense, perfect tense, and perfect continuous tense. These are 4 aspects of tenses, and these 4 aspects are for present, for past, and for future all. Like present tense, past tense, future tense, present indefinite, continuous, perfect, perfect continuous. Similarly, past tense, past indefinite, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. इसके साथ future indefinite, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Now ये है main table. This is the main table in which the division has already taken place among all the tenses. जितने भी tenses हैं, इनमें already verb की division हो चुकी है, but I'm not going to bring your attention towards this. We will come here at the end. Now come to this slide. So here, division of main verb in tenses. तो अभी हम इन 4 forms को 12 tenses में किस तरह एडजस्ट करते हैं. सो सबसे पहली बारी जो है वो है फर्स्ट फॉर्म की. फर्स्ट फॉर्म. सो व्हाट is the, or what are the tenses in which we use first form? कौन कौन से tenses में हम first form को add कर सकते हैं? और जब भी अगर sentence में first form आ जाए तो हमारे दिमाग में कौन कौन से tenses की घंटी बजनी चाहिए? तो इसको जरा गौर से सुने. फर्स्ट फॉर्म हम सिर्फ दो टेंसेस में इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. We can use first form in only two tenses. और कौन से tenses में? Can we use first form in continuous tense? No. Can we use first form in perfect tense? No. Can we use first form in perfect continuous tense? No. So you have to be here very genius and you have to be very sharp. Whenever a sentence comes in front of your eyes, in which first form of the verb is used, like I go to school, I play tennis, she studies English. So there is first form, go, play, studies. These are first forms. So when there is first form inside the sentence, that sentence can never be continuous tense, that can never be perfect tense, that can never be perfect continuous tense. That will be only and only indefinite tense. So there are three indefinite tenses: present indefinite tense, past indefinite tense, or future indefinite tense. Now, first form comes in which indefinite tense? Does it come in all indefinite tenses, or it comes in two indefinite tenses, or in three indefinite tenses, or in one? So here, first form we can use in two indefinite tenses. In which two indefinite tenses? In present indefinite and in future indefinite. Here, plus means positive, negative, and interrogative. Whether you make a positive sentence, negative sentence, or interrogative sentence, all sentences of present indefinite and future indefinite always take first form. You cannot use second form in present indefinite. You cannot use ing form in future indefinite. There will be only and only first form, whether it is positive sentence, negative sentence, or interrogative sentence. So note, we use these form in two tenses, in all form of sentences. So in 10 tenses, 10 टेंसों में, 12 टेंसों में, दो टेंसेस में हम फर्स्ट फॉर्म को ऐड कर देते. बाकी रह गए 10 टेंसेस और 3 forms. 3 forms are remaining. Which 3 forms are remaining? Second form, third form, and ing form. And which tenses are remaining? Past indefinite, present continuous, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, past continuous, and so on. See the next here, important points. अच्छा, important points में ये चीज आपको दिमाग में डालनी होगी that it must be in any sentence. One thing is clear, like crystal, that the tense of the same sentence can be either present indefinite or future indefinite. ये चीज मैं आपको पहले ही बता चुका हूं, लेकिन फिर भी यहाँ पर मौजूद है कि जब भी सेंटेंस में फर्स्ट फॉर्म मौजूद होगी तो उसमें आपके पास दो ऑप्शन होंगी, या तो वो प्रेजेंट इंडेफिनिट टेंस होगा या तो वो फ्यूचर इंडेफिनिट टेंस होगा. A sentence having first form of the verb can never be continuous tense, can never be perfect or perfect continuous. For example here, देखिए यहाँ पे, they study English together. She will go to school. So the main verb of sentence number 1 is study, and the main verb of sentence number 2 is go. Here, see explanation. In above sentences, the main verbs are study and go, which are first form. So the tense of the sentences is and definite. Why it's not continuous? Why it's not perfect? Why it's not perfect continuous? Because we cannot use first form in continuous, perfect continuous. Here, question, why not continuous? Because first form of the verb is not used in continuous tense as main verb. Why not perfect tense? Because first form of the verb is not used in perfect tense as main verb, and similarly the same as well. Now let's move to second form. अभी first form वो clear हो गई है कि first form सिर्फ present indefinite में और future indefinite में use होती है. Now second form of the verb, went, saw, caught, studied. Second form of the verb is used only in past form. ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ past form है और ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ past indefinite tense में used होती है. So in previous two indefinite tenses, in present indefinite or in future indefinite, we went for first form. But in past indefinite, we come for second form. It is used in only past indefinite tense. It can never be used in other indefinite tenses. Can we use second form of the verb in present indefinite? No. Can we use second form of the verb in future indefinite? No. If sentence comes like this, I will saw him tomorrow. So what's the mistake here? Mistake is saw. Why? Because the tense is future and the verb is saw. And saw is second form of the verb. Second form of the verb can never come in future indefinite because it only comes in past indefinite. So here, saw is wrong. What should come instead of saw? See. See must come instead of saw. So here, this is correction. For example, I go to school yesterday. I go to school yesterday. Now, what's the mistake in this sentence? Go. Go is wrong. Why? Because it's about yesterday and yesterday is past. So when we make a sentence to describe about the past, we have to go for second form of the verb. And go is not second form, go is first form. Now here, mistake is go. What should come instead of go? Went. So this kind of sentences will come in front of you in the screening test, in which you will have to select or find out the right forms of the verb. So tenses and future. As we have already studied in previous slides, that from those two particular tenses, we have first form. And another point, it is also very much vital to understand that we can use second form of the verb in past different tense, but in only positive or affirmative sentence. We can't use it in negative or interrogative sentence, as we could use other verb forms in all types of sentences. So here, this point must also be kept in your mind that it's right, it's clear like crystal that second form of the verb comes only in past indefinite tense. But don't forget this point, it comes only in affirmative sentence. In simple language, we can call it positive sentence. If we convert that positive sentence into negative, or in interrogative, we will have to go for the first form of main verb. ये भी आपको दिमाग में होना चाहिए कि second form of the verb as a main verb past and indefinite में सिर्फ और सिर्फ positive sentence में ही आती है. मिसाल के तौर पर I went to school, I saw her, she played cricket, they called me. लेकिन जब हम इसको negative में तब्दील करेंगे, I did not play, not played. She did not called, she did not call. So we have to go for the first form. Similarly in question, did she call? Did she call? We cannot say, did she called? It's wrong. So second form can come only in affirmative sentence, but when we go for negative sentence or interrogative sentence, we will have to go for first form of the main verb. Why? Because we already have one second form in a shape of did, and two second forms cannot come in one statement or in one clause, right? So that's why we will have to convert the second form into first form. Like they study English together, they studied English together, she went to school. So in explanation above both sentences, the main verbs are studied and went, which are second forms. So the tense of the sentences is past indefinite. Why they cannot be present indefinite? Why they cannot be future indefinite? Because in present indefinite or future indefinite, we cannot use steady second form. We cannot use the went second form. तो ये सेकंड फॉर्म यूज हो चुके हैं. इट मींस ये जो है ये प्रेजेंट इंडेफिनिट नहीं हो सकते, फ्यूचर इंडेफिनिट भी नहीं, क्योंकि फ्यूचर इंडेफिनिट और प्रेजेंट इंडेफिनिट में हम फर्स्ट फॉर्म ही यूज करते हैं, और ये तो सेकंड फॉर्म है, तो सेकंड फॉर्म हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ पास्ट इंडेफिनिट टेंस में यूज करते हैं. तो दो टेंसेस कवर हो जाते हैं फर्स्ट फॉर्म के जरिए, एक टेंस कवर हो गया हमारा सेकंड फॉर्म के जरिए. So 3 tenses are covered and 2 verb forms are eliminated. Now 9 tenses are remaining and only 2 verb forms are remaining. ING form of verb is remaining, third form of the verb is remaining, and continuous tenses and perfect tenses. Perfect tenses रह गए हैं और continuous tenses रह गए हैं. तो ये 9 tenses जो कवर होते हैं वो ING से और थर्ड फॉर्म से. So second form past indefinite, first form 2 tenses, second form 1 tense, remaining 2 verbs and 9 tenses. Now let's move to third form of the main verb. अभी आते हैं थर्ड फॉर्म की तरफ. So third form of main verb, first form तो present indefinite और future indefinite की हो गई, second form होगी past indefinite की. Now let's move to third form. So third form is used in all perfect tenses. जितने भी हमारे पास perfect tenses हैं, उन तमाम perfect tenses में हम third form को यूज करते हैं, चाहे वो present perfect हो, past perfect हो या future perfect हो. In